Let's get started. First of all, I would just say welcome to all. That to Thursday during this time joining my course. I mean, but at least interested in knowing more about SAP project systems. So I'll introduce myself. My name is Suresha Jagarla Modi. I'm a PMP certified, and I did rather saying that SAP. I have done my product lifecycle management from IIT Madras. That is my specialization. I'm a mechanical engineer previously, and during this time, I came to know what is a product lifecycle is all about. So I am married and I have two kids, and I've got total of 18 years of experience. That's what my professional experience. I've got 6 years of functional and 15 years almost into SAP. This is what my whole experience. So today I am going to take you through the project systems overview. So we'll see that next 1.5 hour maybe. I'll take you through that, and afterwards our agenda is to discuss about logistics and maybe fee structure and how we go about that one. Okay, so that is the agenda for this meeting. And now to introduce that, what is a project system? We are going to discuss about what is a project system is all about, and what is a project structure, then the planning, budgeting, and controlling part of it, and the functionality, integration aspects, how it is being integrated with. As you know, that few people have come from the FSCO background, and few might be they don't know anything about that. So that is the advantage of project system, and that is the disadvantage of project systems too, because it is nobody's baby, and at the same time, it is everyone's baby. You know that. I mean, if the moment I say everyone's baby, everyone can get into, and at the same time, nobody can own it as well. Okay, so there is an open-ended system. So we'll see that what best we can cover that, and the business types of scenarios at the high end, and at least we'll discuss few scenarios which are important, and reporting part of it, and question and answers. Okay, this is how we structure, and later on we get into the content as well, like what is that we are going to cover and how this course is being taken care. So any questions, please stop me at any point in time, and so that I will just try to answer like as much as, and also at the end also we'll take the question and answers. Please bear with me for next 1.5 hour. So introduction to project systems. Now, the moment I talk about project systems, I'm also PMP certified by the way, but that was more of project management thing. But here we are talking about project systems. That means there is a slight difference between project management and project systems. So what is the difference? Yeah, yeah. What is no? Yeah. That's what I'm recording. Yes, yes, yes. You can rejoin, and afterwards I'll share that. No problem. Okay, you're welcome. Take care. So there's a slight difference between project management and project systems. So that we will at least touch upon what is that difference is. Okay. So now if you see that the entire SAP as such, like no, since we are talking about SAP HANA, what it consists of is there are so many modules are involved in SAP HANA, particularly SAP. So now you see there are SD, MM, and PP. These are all pure logistics. There are other logistics modules QM, PM, and as well as HR. HR is a separate thing anyhow. So there are other industrial verticals, industry solutions, then workflow management, and even project systems you can see, and financial related or FICO or FICA. Sometimes even we can use FICA as well. These are the industry solutions. So all of them are under one particular box. This is the box which you can see it in. So now, if you talk about project systems, that means it is going to be integrated with all other modules. The reason is it is the base to integrate with, whether you name sales and distribution, materials management, production planning, quality management, or plant maintenance, or even HR, even FICO, in even workflow or industrial solution. All of them can be integrated with PS. There is only one module which can be integrated with all other except PS is controlling module. So that means ideally controlling and PS are interrelated. That is nothing but PS is also one kind of controlling module. Also one kind of. I'm not saying that exactly. Also one kind of. Okay. So now why it is said as a system is, system means it is beyond a tool. Okay. If you say that one, okay, let's talk about one any product, you name it. A car. If you take a car, within that car you will find that cooling system. Within that car there is something called brake system. Within that car there is a power transmission system, and within that car there might be electrical network. You all see that one, electrical bulbs and stuff like that, whatever switch and all, everything is the electrical system. Like that you have control systems, whatever is it. That means a product is a combination of many different systems. So system means it is going to work independently or collectively, both are possible. But tool is something which is only defined, like no, if you say project management tool, any project management tool, either MS projects or Primavera, if you take any of those tools, they are not systems, they are independent tools. What does it do? It is going to only schedule something. It won't integrate with it won't integrate with PP, it won't integrate with SD. It is not at all integrated with any of them. Even if you see any project, so do the that is any MS projects are going to talk about any revenues over there? Anybody heard about it? Revenues coming to the project, Primavera, or did it tell you like no what is that maintenance activities? Did it tell you what is the financial entry? It won't tell you. It is only one kind of planning tool. But PS is not like that. Beyond that one. Okay. That's what we are going to see next couple of minutes. So now what is a project? Is generally projects are complex and unique, involves high degree of risk. So that means they are not simple. That's why it is a project. And they are unique. Always it gives some uniqueness. That means unique outcome it is going to give. And involves high degree of risk. That means if it failed, the cost of that project is going to be more. So risk means that's what failure is going to have negative effect, most of the negative effect, and it is being defined with precise goals and executed with ordering and executing party. That's where the customer is involved in. They are limited in duration and cost and capacity intensive. That means, see, there is no resource in this world is infinite. All resources are with some constraint. That means, suppose today I wanted to give this training. So there are constraints like whether do I have internet, do I have power backup, and do I have PPT is being prepared, and do I have time to let others join, or how many of you maybe even have time to even join this. So that means it is based on the constraint. So anything you name it is always going to be constrained. It's not that infinite resources are not available in anywhere in this world. Always remember that. Okay? Infinite resources never be available in this world. That means all of us are being constrained. So that's what the meaning of limited in duration, limited in cost, limited in capacity. Okay, they are subject to certain quality requirements. Yes, the quality is very much is important. If you are buying a product, any product, you should be the quality conscious. Otherwise, you don't buy. As simple as that. And they are strategically important. That means it is given more priority or highest priority in the organization. If a project is being executed, that is given more highest priority, and they are internal to the processes. Now, okay, for giving all this explanation, let's put it that into simple terms. So anything what you are going to have, you see that one, there are limited in duration. That is nothing but a project is a temporary endeavor. That means it is not infinite time. It is time bound based. Okay, a project is a temporary endeavor with unique outcome and conformance to quality. Only three terms you need to remember. Okay, so with a project is a temporary endeavor with unique outcome and conformance to quality. These three terms are enough to define a project. Okay, so be cautious. Anything what is being defined is a project is a temporary endeavor. That means there is an end date for that, and it is being unique outcome and conformance to quality. Means quality is by default. So this is what the project definition. Of course, these are all characteristics. They are complex and high degree of risk is involved, and all that are those are going to be characteristics. Now, in a PS, what kind of projects you can really get? So generally, we say that project life cycle. I'm going to tell you in the next screenshot what is a project life cycle. But before that, how many types of the project in this world you can see it? There are ideally three types of projects you can see in this world. One is capital or investment related. These are a really long term investment. Suppose you construct a house or you build a house. What is the lifespan of this house? Any idea? What is the lifespan? Okay, so minimum lifespan for any house or any construction of the building is minimum 25 years. Okay, minimum. I'm not talking about maximum. Maximum it can go even 100 years. If you maintain properly, maybe 200 years as well. Okay, but minimum lifespan of that particular asset is 25 years. So that means any plant what you construct is also have 25 years of lifespan. So those are all capital investment. Even roads, a road is being constructed. So of course, road has its own life cycle, isn't it? Obviously, minimum 20, maybe 5 years, 6 years minimum without maintenance, and afterwards you keep maintaining something, and it will run for next 30, 40 years or whatever is there. Okay, then you may have to rebuild that entire road, maybe after some point in time, or based on whatever issues it is going to face. But otherwise, if you see that anything which is you keep generating revenues. Suppose take an example. Someone is from metro. I can give a best example. Suppose metro is being constructed right now. So are you generating any revenue during construction time? Obviously no. But whereas once that is being operationalized, so if metro rails are running, so don't they generate revenues? They will generate revenues, of course. So that is what customer related. Of course, not necessarily customer related or operations wise. Sometimes what happens, suppose metro rail is being constructed. Suppose L&T has taken or owned that metro rail. Do you think that entire metro is constructed by L&T alone? Any one of you? Do you think that L&T is going to construct entire metro? Is it possible for them to construct? Question to all of you. Do you think L&T not possible? So that's what I said. Resource constrained. L&T might not have all the capability. They will outsource some part of it. Maybe they will construct like no, they will outsource in terms of like kilometer wise. Okay, 10 kilometers to one guy, another 10 kilometers to someone else, and this is subcontracting basically, isn't it? So like that they are going to. That is what the resources are constrained means. So now, suppose I am a subcontractor. Suppose XYZ company. So XYZ company is doing some part of work to L&T. Suppose Mumbai or Hyderabad, wherever it is. So now I get paid, isn't it, for that 1 kilometer or 10 kilometer stretch? What I get it. That is what revenue related projects means. You get revenue out of that. And here there are two types of revenues are being generated. One is, as I previously said, that one is milestone based billing, that is fixed bid. Suppose if I am constructing 10 kilometers of stretch, each kilometer is going to, pay me. L&T is going to pay. Suppose even if you take each kilometer is going to be 50 crores. Suppose. So I'm constructing 10 kilometers stretch. 10 kilometers into whatever 50 crores as I said. So 10 into 50, that means 500 crores to be paid for the 10 kilometer stretch. So this we call it as a fixed bid. Suppose you and me are working as IT professionals. So how our payment get received from the customer? Is it on fixed bid? Like there's no what I said, number of kilometers into kilometer cost. That's what fixed bid. But ours is always going to be hourly rate. Suppose if you work for per month 160 hours and each hour is going to be paid, that is nothing but resource related billing, hourly rate. At the rate, hours are being very important here. But previously it is not that fixed bid. 10 kilometer stretch, you're going to get paid this much. So that is the fundamental difference between a project with milestone based billing, that means fixed bid billing, and other one is resource related, or we also say that time and material. So there are names, don't worry about names. Okay, so two types of revenue related projects. The third category is operations project. See, once the metro is constructed, then one fine day the metro rail is being started operations. So day to day, don't you think that it requires power to switch on lights or fans or whatever is there, and to run the metro rails on the track, and to in order to maintain your stations, all that you need human resources, isn't it? Or electricity or other things that you manage using operations project, that is nothing but OPEX projects. So in this entire universe, only these three types of projects are there. One is CAPEX, one is OPEX, and other one is revenue related. Any doubts so far? Any one of you? You guys have any doubt? Okay, shall we go ahead? How many types of projects are there? Any one of you? Shall we continue? Okay, that's great. So now in this entire universe, these three types of projects are there: capex, opex, or revenue related. Okay. So now, what are the phases of a project? If you talk about any project, it has to follow certain phases of it. That is what we say is project phases. One is, if you see any project, like as I said previously, L&T is going to outsource some part of project to some third party or like XYZ company. If you see, they are going to ask for some kind of request for proposal. And that proposal, how I submit? I will submit my quotation to L&T, or XYZ company will submit quotation. So that quotation is being converted to sales order. Once they own it, it is being converted into order. So what happens? The first level of details are at the conceptual phase. During it RFP, everyone knows that RFP means request for proposal. The entire project is a conceptual phase. Then afterwards, it is moved to rough planning phase. You see that concept phase, it is only written on the script, saying that one 5-page document, 10-page document, or 100-page document. But afterwards, it is being converted to WBS and activities, rough estimate, and we'll also use different cost planning methods and all if required. Okay, next is, after some point in time, once the quotation is being converted, then sales order is being created. During that time, sales order, when you get solid sales order, you have all details of it, like, when are you going to deliver, what is going to be delivered, and how much resource you are going to spend, how much you are going to get as revenue. That is what sales order means. As time passes, you get more details of it. That is where the detailed planning is going to be. This means networks are being interconnected. That's what your scheduling is going to be. And once your detailed planning is available, then you can convert that planning to budgeting and release that whatever order related or networks or stuff like that. Okay. Next is, you execute whatever planned in detailed planning in a sequential way. That is what execution means. Once execution has happened, then you keep requesting for billing from the customer. That means you are going to create a billing request from the customer. Then he is going to make the payment. Finally, this project is to be settled. Once settlement has happened, you are going to close this project. That's what the project elements. Okay, next step we are going to see project elements. Each of the project elements are being closed. So that is where you keep generating billing invoices, like, till end of this project. So this is the typical customer related project cycle. Any customer related project should go through this process. Any questions here? Okay, let's continue. Next is structural elements. Now, if you see any project has got different structural elements. The fundamental structural elements are project definition, WBS element, network. Now, that is what during your initiation stage, what we are going to do. We say that project initiation. That is nothing but structuring. Next phase is that, those are, of course, the other elements are also there. Network activities, then milestones, PS text and components. Those don't worry about that. Okay. But at least these three levels are very important. Next is planning phase. What you do during planning phase, we are going to schedule the project. Schedule means timelines, basically defining timelines. Okay. And during planning phase, you also have a cost estimates and you also have a resource allocation. All these three are going to happen simultaneously. That we say triple constraint. By using triple constraint, you are going to model your resources. So the scheduling is well known, easy to understand by using Gantt chart. Gantt chart is a sequence of activities and it is represented graphically, as simple as that one. Okay. So during this time, like planning phase, you are also have to identify what are the resources you are going to use it, materials basically, and milestones. What are the milestones you are going to use it? All that planning is going to happen during our planning phase. Next is cost planning. As you know that one, there are different cost planning methods are available. As I discussed previously, as we go more details, and the more detailed planning is also available. Then approval process, like the planning is being converted into budget. Whatever cost planning is done, you can convert that into budgeting. Next, we get started with execution phase, third phase of it. During this time, the procurement happens. Once procurement has happened, that means we say planned procurement. That is nothing but the purchase requisition, purchase order, and those two maybe may undergo like release strategies and all. That's additional benefit what you undergo that. And afterwards, goods receipts are going to happen, and internal network activity confirmations, or you can also confirm service entry sheets. So those things happen during our execution. Whatever you planned during planning phase, execution phase, we are going to make use of that and confirm those things. Next is monitoring and control, more of reporting aspect of it, and during that time maybe version creations or or materials tracking and stuff like that, and simulation projects we can do that one, and as I said, budget and cost monitoring as well by using versions management. That way you can control that one. Okay. Last but not least is the closer activities. Closer activities will happen as a two-step process. One is keeping TECO, so technically complete. So I mean, if anyone will know that one, like SAP, they knew better. So technical complete doesn't mean that you are completed everything. Is that the case? Technical complete means doesn't mean that you completed everything. No, in SAP it is not like that. Technical complete means no further procurement. That's it. Means you are not going to create, our system is not going to allow you to create further PRs and POs if you keep TECO. But still system is going to allow you to make confirmations. You still can post financials and still you can settle. So all that is allowed. But last but not least is going to be the closing stage. During closing stage, you need to finally settle values. That means all checks and balances for each structural elements, like whatever I have said. Project definition, WS elements, network activities, all those checks and balances are zero. That means everything is being settled. That is what is nothing but project closer. That means five phases of a project. One is structuring, that is nothing but initiation. Next is planning phase. Next is execution. Next, project monitoring and control. Then closure of a project. Any questions so far? This is fundamental of our project system. Yeah, please go ahead. Yes, that's what I said. TECO. What TECO means? What? Yeah, it is freezing procurement. You are not buying further. Simple. That doesn't mean that whatever values are there, you can settle. Whatever planned things are there, you can still receive them. No, 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 it will allow. It will allow. It will allow. Yes. See, yeah, not only that, even final settlement you have to do it after takeover only. After takeover only, by the way. See, if you say final settlement, settlement will happen every month, as you know that. But the final settlement is only possible after takeover because you freeze at least no further planning. See, what is takeover? Ideally, it is no planning, actually speaking. No procurement means what? You are not buying further. You are confirming that one, yes, I freezed my planning. Actually speaking, after execution, you are freezing your further planning activities. No planning is allowed after takeover. Simple. No additions. That's the meaning here. No procurement means no additions. Simple. But still it will allow you to post and to to freeze your all the existing values. You can settle it, and existing open POs you can receive it. You can still post whatever is, even internal activities you can post it. So it will allow you to post your values, but it will not allow you to create another PR. It will not allow you to create another PO. No, it won't allow you. Okay, until unless you reset that to REL. Okay, release status. Okay, yeah, yeah, fine, thanks so much. Let's go. So now, what is the life cycle of a project? What are the steps are involved? Like a customer project, what you have seen previously. Let's talk about as a generic, like no, how the project systems life cycle is all about. Any project, if you take it, if you whether it is a OPEX or CAPEX or customer related project, all of them, ideally in project systems, better to use templates. That is a fundamental thing. Okay, so the templates are to be created upfront. Once a project templates are created, you can have that, and by using the template you can create a project, operative project. Okay, once you create operative project, that's what initiation phase means. Okay, you have created the structure of it. You name like project definition, WBS, activities or whatnot. Once you have created, then make a planning. That means whether it is going to be resource allocation, cost planning, or revenue planning, whatever you name it. Okay, scheduling, everything you can do it during planning phase. And once you have done those resource allocation and all, of course, there are reports which are going to be applicable each phase of it. During structure phase, you can use it. During planning phase, you can use it. And later on, you convert that to budgeting. Whatever planned values are there, make it as a budget approval, and release those values. Means whatever planned, you release it. That's where the execution gets started. Before release, execution is not done. After release, the project being executed gets started basically. Then the real implementation, that means real confirmations happens during your project execution phase. Then settlement happens on periodic basis. That's what your reporting keep updated with the settlement values. And one fine day, that is what TECO. After TECO, you make a final settlement and go for closure. your balances must be zero during your project closure. Clear? What is the project life cycle? Typical life cycle of any project, you name it. Okay. So next is project hierarchical structure. Now, if you see any project, you name it, it is going to be the highest level is going to be project definition. So, what are the characteristics? The characteristics means properties are associated with project definition are controlling area, company code, profit center, and plant. These fields are mandatory at project definition level. So next level is you can split that entire project definition into multiple work packages. We also call it as work breakdown structure. In the work breakdown structure, what you do is we split that entire project. Suppose, as I said, if metro is there is a project, you consider that one. Mumbai Metro, Hyderabad Metro, whatever you name it. So metro has got three lines. In Hyderabad, at least three lines are there. Red line, blue line, green line. So each of the line you can create it as a project because three of them together is going to be a program, is a program, and now each line is going to be a project. So each project you can subdivide again. How? Okay, you can have 25 stations. You can divide that into 25 different WBSs. Each station is further divided into first floor, second floor, ground floor, whatever what floor you name it, or it is being divided based on the transmission line, or it is divided based on the like rail type, whatever it is, mono or crow, whatever meter gauge or broad gauge, whatever you name it. So like that you can divide them into multiple bits and pieces of it. That is what nothing but work packages. Break that entire work into bits and pieces. That is nothing but here you can have this we call it hierarchical. So vertically you can divide that entire work into multiple sub packages. So here in this WBS you can assign company code, profit center, and plant. These three are the fundamental units or elements. Now below that WBS there is a network. A network is nothing but collection of activities. Always remember, okay? Network is nothing but collection of activities. Now these two, project definition and WBS, are controlling objects or FICBOK objects, but network onwards these are logistics objects. Clear? Network and the activities. Network holds good for like plant and profit center. You see that is where wherever the plant is given more priority is nothing but those are all logistics elements. So here it is highest element in the network is plant. Of course, profit center is still there, but because of materials and other stuff, material ledger is active means profit center is mandatory. But don't worry about that profit center, okay? Though that is an FI object, but this is not given more priority. Plant is given more priority. Okay, so now once plant is assigned, there are different kinds of activities. You can see it in a given project. Broadly, any activities are divided into four types. One is internal, that means your own employees does that work. Internal processed activities means only your internal employees do that for activity. So here you need to build the work center and capacity constraint. Okay, work center is to be assigned here. Next is externally processed. That means I am outsourcing this work to third parties. As I said previously, the entire metro is not built by L&T. That L&T is going to outsource some part of it. That maybe subcontracting or maybe some kind of contracting. Whatever is there, that is nothing but external processed activities. Here it is procurement related. Whatever that outsourced part is nothing but procurement, but means PR PO is involved, but for internal activities there are no PR and POs. It is work center related, capacity constraint. Okay, so that is the difference. Okay, of course, even for internal activity you need material, external activities you need material, that you can plan it as within that activities. Next is third category is general cost activity. Suppose if there is a petty cash payment and what you make as a cash payment, that we call it unplanned procurement. There is no PRPO for this procurement, purely making direct cash payment or reimbursing some money which is being already spent in the project. That is another general cost activity. And fourth one is just extension to the general, external process activity. It is the service master, or with service master, without service masters. That means any kind of procurement for the externally processed activities with service master or without service master is nothing but service activities. And service activities required service entry sheet. But externally processed activities do not require service entry sheet. It requires only MyGo. Okay. So here I think more you learn like how the division of these things are going to happen. But ideally, this is what the structure. Of course, below that there are milestones. And what is a milestone? Anybody knows that? What is a milestone? You might heard about it in SD also. There might be some milestones. What is a milestone? Okay, phases of the project. Okay, phases. It's okay. One way you can say, but milestone is not a phase of a project. Ideally, milestone is nothing but a goal. Goal, what you define. Perfect. Yeah, your phase will come. For this phase, these are all my goals. For this phase, these are all my goals. That means for each phase, you will define these goals. Suppose, what is my goal of this today's training? I wanted to complete like first goal is to complete the course. If I complete that one, I am going to say yes, my milestone is achieved. SAP PS overview. Next is course content. That's what I'm going to discuss. Next is what is that? Maybe logistics part of it. Maybe fees distance. These four are my goals. Clear? For each phase, there are goals. Isn't it? Clear? For each phase, there are goals. Milestones are nothing but goals. So, which can be measured in terms of either qualitative or quantitative. That's what we are going to discuss. Suppose if a goal is quantitative or qualitative, you know, quality means it is going to be yes or no. Quantity means saying that 10%, 30%, 40%, or some number, isn't it? So, milestones are always qualitative, means you are going to say yes or no. That's it. If you achieve, it is yes. Suppose if I complete this, like at least SAPPS overview, I say yes. Suppose if I don't complete, even if I complete 99.99%, I should say no. Clear? Qualitative, quantitative. It is qualitative. Milestones are qualitative. Yes, you can convert that qualitative to quantitative, provided there are restrictions and there are advantages and disadvantages. But end of the day, it is qualitative terms. Okay. So milestones are also can be included here in the hierarchy, and also components and PS text. Those are all minute things, nothing to worry. But ideally, this is what is structure of the project. Okay, and plant is a logistics module and which is associated at a network level. From then it is plant is the reference for any of these things. Any questions? Okay, then let's continue. So at the project elements, or these I think as I said, like no project definition, WS element, network activities, milestones, these are all project elements. And at project definition level, what are the important characteristics? You have to, as I said previously, a project is a temporary endeavor with unique outcome and conformance to quality. So now you see any project is to be defined with unique ID and also name of the project. What is this project is all about? The name you give, title of the project and description for the project. Who is responsible? Project manager, start date and end date and project profile. These are important parameters. Okay, same is the case at WBS level. What is the type of the project? And is it budget related or cost related only or revenue related? All those details we are going to give it at WBS level. We are going to see in the next slide, like how the different types of WBS or networks, what are the characteristics. Now you see here, what is that WBS holds good? You can schedule, that is nothing but dates. You can budget. You can generate commitments. You can execute, that means you can book actual cost, and periodic processing, basically settlements and all you can do it. Okay, and you can also plan that. Those are all characteristics holds good any WBS. All these are possible to do at WBS level. Then WBS is always a vertical structure. That means hierarchical by nature. That means levels are involved. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. Like that it is going to be. If you take any substation, you see mechanical, civil and electrical item. Mechanical is subdivided into mechanical operations 1, 2, like that you can go up to 99 levels. Okay. So SAP is going to provide you or allow you to 99 levels, but we don't go with that many levels. 6 to 7 or 8 line, 9 line, levels are enough for us. Next is, if you see any project definition, you see this is the project definition line item. You see that triangle with the rectangle, and all triangles are WBS elements. It's just structural view. Now you see that org elements you see here: controlling area, company code, business area, plant, or profit center and stuff like that. You can see all of them here. And now, at network activity levels, whatever you can do. Network activity really carries the duration and work. That means the real work what you plan is at activity level only. That's why you see that one internal activity, you have internal work center related and capacities are involved. You can have dates and the cost as well. Okay, if it is external, what is that you are going to define? You are going to buy. You outsource that work. That's why dates are involved, cost is involved, and commitments are involved. But for internal activity, no commitments. It is internal employee cost. That's it. Next is materials. Yes, dates, cost, and commitment. Materials are always going to be committed with. And periodic processing, nothing but settlement. Yes, all network activity related costs should be settled in the WBS or receiving object. Next, cost associated with this, dates and cost of the activity, and milestones can be associated with activities. You can attach milestones to the activity because it is going to confirm even milestone as well. That's why milestone trend analysis we can do by using this. Okay, these are all possibilities within that network activity. And now you see what is a network. Network is a combination of different activities you can see. And now this is the network, rectangle and rectangle. There is a rectangle, is nothing but activity, network activity. Then the bolt, what is here written is nothing but material or component. And this is activity element. Okay, that may or may not be required. But if you see, the diamond one is your milestone. So now you see network is associated with all logistics element, network activities, components, network elements, then milestones. Of course, there is a PS text as well. That's how you can see. So if you select any object and below objects are be highlighted here, you can see that. Okay, network activities are always associated with scheduling. So how do you do scheduling? Now you see scheduling can be done many ways, but there are four important relationships among schedule. Those are FS, finish, start. Activity A should be completed before activity B. That is another finish, start. If activity A should be started before activity B gets started, SS. Activity A should be finished before activity B gets finished, FF. Activity A should be started before activity B gets finished, means SF. So out of these, FS is most popular and 98% you use this relationship. First one. Okay, remaining still exists. It's up to you. To want it, you can use that one. But this is first one is more popular and mostly used. Now you see this is what Gantt chart. You can see what are the relationships are being defined. You can see all of the relationships here. You can find it here. This is nothing but Gantt chart. So now with reference to timelines, you can see what are the activities associated with it. Okay, so planning and budgeting. So now once scheduling is done and everything is done, now as I said, resources are allocated, then you have to go with planning of it. What is that? Cost planning of it. Now you see different methods of the cost planning. You can see one is cost element based, then unit cost estimate, easy cost planning, then hierarchical cost estimate as well. Like activity based, you can see that one, order related as well, of course. So and hierarchical cost estimate. These are different cost planning methods. You can see that. Okay, out of that 5 or 6, you can see that one, and 5 are more popular. These are all different cost planning methods. You can see that. And each of them has their own merits and demerits. Don't think that every project you are going to use all of them. No, one or two combination you have to use that. Next is this is what the cost planning you can see. This we say that CJ40. You can see that what cost planning is. done here. This is one of the cost planning. The easiest way of cost planning is hierarchical cost estimate or manual cost estimate. So next is how to convert cost estimate to budget. That is very important. Now you see, costing is always a bottom-up approach. Means from lower level WBS to higher level WBS, cost is being accumulated. Then you convert that cost estimate to budget approved. Then the budget is always controlled using top-down approach. Means parent should have more value or money than what the childs have as expense. That is why we say top-down approach. Top WBS should have more value than child's WBS accumulated value or accumulated value. Okay, that you can see that even top-down and bottom-up approach. So bottom-up is always for the cost planning, top-down is always for the budgeting. Clear? What is the difference between cost planning and budgeting? Clear or not? So anybody, all of you are there? Hello? Yeah. Okay, that's great. Okay, and nobody is responding. That is the reason I'm just, Okay, fine. Okay, that's great. Okay, so top down and bottom up. Okay, top down is like for the budgeting, and bottom up is for the cost planning. Perfect. Then let's go to the next slide. So how budget control is going to happen? Budget control is going to happen based on the whatever which is going to be accumulated or released. So there is a formula which is going to be associated with that. Based on this formula, like we say that updated budget is nothing but current budget is equal to original budget plus supplements plus or minus transfers or minus returns. Okay, based on that it is going to work, like how much is we are going to release it. Based on that release, it is going to control the budgeting. So now you can see that one how budget is going to be validated, like any budget updates are going to happen. So the original budget is going to be there, and in addition to that supplements are to be added if there is a budget diff sheet. Okay, so then you can move, like carry forward to the next year if possible. So whatever you wanted, you can, of course this is the wrong, like 009, like not 8 to 9. So this was wrong. Okay, that 8 to 9 is the year. Carry forward that one. So control is going to happen many ways. Like one is you can see, give the percentage of control. One is warning message at 80% and maybe at 100% going with error message. So that you can control. Budget availability control can be validated by using the percentage of budget. So now you always have to check one thing. Budget can be checked many ways. One is we call it availability of commitments is one aspect of it. Only commitments means you can check PR plus PO is nothing but commitment items. The next is there is another term called assigned value. And see, if you see that one, actual value, so actual value keep updated, isn't it? So if commitment value is coming down, then only actual value will go up. That means assigned value is always going to be constant. That means PR plus PO plus actual equal to assigned value. But initially PRPO value is going to be more, actual value is 0. But more the progress happens, what happens? The reversal will happen. That means actual cost will go up and your PRPO values are going to, open commitment values will come down, isn't it? Will it happen or not? So this reverse is going to happen. That is nothing but how it is being controlled by using assigned value. And here also there are different controls are there. Like only you can have a budget at commitment level. Only you can have it at goods receipt level. Only you can have it at goods issue level. Like that you can define. Like there are different methods are there. You know that different controlling aspect of it. Okay, that is possible. So now how the budget, as I said, like percentage of warning message at 95% here, it is yellow message, and at error message it's 110%. So email is being triggered. That is nothing but workflow is being defined here. So it is like the top down approach. As I said, if the top WBS do not have enough budget, then system is going to throw error message, because availability of the budget equal to always the sum of the lower level WBS items. That means top down. Parent should have more money than what child, is having both together. That is the meaning here. Okay. Now, what are the PS functionality we're talking about? The other PS functionality, what we are going to talk about is status management. You all know that one. There are two kinds of statuses. One is system status and user status. System status, you all know that one. CRTD created, then released REL, SCTC, like settlement rule created, then budgeted BUD, or it is going to be scheduled or whatever you name it. There's so many such things are there. So when it comes to take over and closed at the end of the project, what do we do? Of course, meanwhile you can also invoiced and billing, requested, document posted, whatever is there. These are all things are going to be available. So release is something which is going to differentiate your planning and execution. Release status (REL) is such an important thing. Next is user statuses. User status are defined by us. Based on customer requirement, we can define our own user statuses. Possible. Okay. So you can have a number of user statuses and you can even control authorization. Suppose X should not move project from so and so status to so and so status. Yes. By using systems user status, we can define them. Okay, so user status is going to be useful for many of the projects. So now in the planning, what is the way you are going to control? There are many ways you can have scheduling, and one of them could be top down and bottom up. And now top down is helpful for R&D projects and bottom up is helpful for any of the construction related or which is known to you, outcome is known to you. Free planning is not advisable many places. Strict bottom up, yes, it is extensively used. I would recommend to go with the strict bottom up. If you know everything upfront, strict bottom up is helpful. This is at WBS level. Okay, this is what hierarchical. Otherwise, scheduling also happen two ways. One at network level. One is forward and backward. If you know start date and you wanted to know the end date of the project, then that is what forward scheduling means. You are going forward from now to future. Clear? Now to future. That means you know that today what is the date or some date, start date, and you wanted to know when it is to be completed. That project is to be completed. Suppose today I am going to start the training. Suppose today is 10th of March, and suppose ideally it takes 3 months. Suppose so that means I know 9th of April, May, June. 9th of June we are going to complete the training. That is what forward scheduling. There is a backward scheduling. I wanted to complete the training on 20th of June. That is what backward scheduling. Then when I should start my project? That 20th of June minus 90 days. Minus 90 days. So where I am supposed to start ideally, if it is 3 months 90 days, 21st of March. That is what the difference is. Forward means we are going from today plus durations, and backward means last day minus duration, means finish date minus durations. That is what the difference is. Clear? Okay. Next is execution activity confirmation. At internal activity level, you can confirm that one. And let's see, like integration with other module. How SAP PS is being integrated with. You can see integration happens this way. Like you can see, plant maintenance is one such pro module. Okay, once asset is being operationalized, then asset has to be maintained. That is nothing but whether we say planned shutdown or unplanned breakdown. Either case we can maintain using plant maintenance. Any asset is to be maintained here. Next is controlling all internal activity, as I said, cost center or activity types or any other internal activities are controlled by the controlling module, means are being integrated with the SAP PS. Next is financial management. As I said, general cost activities one is the example, and accounts payable, accounts receivable. Both are related with FI. Next is production planning. Any of the production orders which are being associated with, we say like MTO and ETO scenarios. So during that time, we are going to integrate with the production order with PS system. Next is HR. Yes, suppose if we are using like what I say is resource related billing. Surely HR is very important. CATS integration is required. Cross application timesheet, which is important here. So that you need master data and all that is being integrated with PS. Next is materials management. Enter procurement. You all know that one. Plant procurement. Either it is materials or services. Either case is anything which is important here, or inventory management as well. Last but not least, sales and distribution SD module. Yes, billing, as we have discussed previously, whether it is going to be fixed bid or it is going to be T&M or resource related billing. It is associated with SD. So if you see all modules are integrated with SAP PS. In any SAP, if you name any module, it should be integrated with PS because it is a cross-functional module. Okay, clear? Any questions? So project progress, there are many methods are available. Maybe at least we will find it like milestone trend analysis, one such method, or 10 different methods are available. Don't worry, all of them are not helpful. At least milestone trend analysis, which is the easiest and most effective way. So others are like work based or schedule based or budget based. There's so many methods are there. Okay. So but don't worry about them. But at least milestone trend analysis or percentage of completion method is the one of the easiest and best way. And even materials tracking also we can use it by using that project. So now you see one of the work based project progress percentage of completion. So closing activities, what is that you have to perform? So project closure is very important. See, project creation is easy, but afterwards you have to close that project. How difficult is that is very tough to handle the project closure. So in order to close that, you need to perform the final settlement. How you do that one is, as I said, the TECO is a fundamental for any of your financial closure of it. So any of the expense you need to identify, okay, maintain the settlement rule. Obviously, you keep doing that as a month-end process. It happens. But end of the day, what you need to do is all that you need to keep the TECO. Then you make sure that one all checks and balances. That means no open PRs, no settled values, no open, I would say partial received materials and services. All that you should formally close. Then finally settle the perform settlement after takeoff. Then you close the project, which is allowed. Otherwise, it's not allowed. Okay, it is very difficult, and you need to perform this one. Clear? After takeoff, you need to perform the final settlement. Then you can close the project formally or individual elements as well, like network activities, network, WBS elements, and project definition. At different levels, you can close them. Now, let us take a business scenarios. What is it? At least we will talk about the revenue already discussed. Let us talk about capital projects. How the capital projects happen. So these are capital investment intensive. Like the lifespan is more, but the construction or the progress of the project also takes minimum 3 to 4 years of the time. Metro is the best example, and plant construction, big plants and all. So that requires more capital. So during that capital investment period, we call it AUC, asset under construction. That means no fixed asset is built. That means if no fixed asset is built, you cannot apply depreciation. Okay, there is a depreciation rule which is applicable once the project is being capitalized. That means fixed asset is built. That day onwards, you can have depreciation. Before that, there is no depreciation applicable. That is the phase what we call AUC. Okay. So now, how are we going to manage this? AUC is generally a during work in process. Of course, for inventory, people will say inventory valuation, but projects there is no inventory valuation. That is why we say AUC or WIP, work in process. Even if it is other types of projects, it's work in process. There is no such thing called inventory. Here, inventory valuation is not applicable here. For us, it is WIP. How much is being work in process now? Amount, value, not that in terms of quantity or anything. Okay. So once the construction is completed, of course, for generally house buildings and all, what you do is you get the NOC or you get the occupancy certificate, isn't it? All of you will get occupancy certificate. That day, your asset is being capitalized. Before that, it was under construction only. It is under construction. But the moment you brought that, the occupancy certificate, that is the day your asset is capitalized. That is nothing but your apartment is also being capitalized. That day, all your construction is done formally. Okay, that is the difference between AUC and fixed asset. Now you see how it is going to happen. Any of the new project is being created. Now you see by using master data, planning is going to happen, and then approval and convert that to budgeting, then execution of it, then periodic settlement, then capitalization. This is what the cycle is going to happen during your project execution of any capitalized projects. Now let's see, like reports, important reports. We'll see the structural reports, date-wise, planned cost and revenues, actual cost and revenues, approved budget and supplements, commitments, then project progress and variances. Variance is nothing but actual versus planned, whatever difference is. Now you see one of the structural report here. Okay, these are all cost variance report. These are all like CGI3, like your line item wise report, actual line item wise. Okay. Yeah, that's it. I think that's what we have for you guys. Any questions? Yeah, same thing. This is an example what I have shown. Like initially what I discussed is three kinds of projects: OPEX, CAPEX, revenue, and revenue. I have got two kinds of projects. One is fixed bid, and another one is resource related. This is an example I have given you. That we will explain that. That we will explain that. Okay, I'm going to explain that in the next slide. Don't worry. That we content also. Let's go through that one. 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. So any questions here in this PPT? First of all. Correct. So what I'm saying, in the course, right, whatever the duration of the book, are we going to see all this kind of project from starting Correct. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to explain that in next couple of minutes. Okay, okay. You'll get the answer from me in the next couple of minutes. Any questions on this, the projects, project systems or SAP? I'm talking about whatever we have discussed as overall. If not, let's jump into that, the content of it. So next topic is, as I mentioned, like the content part of it. So let me explain that. What is that content we are going to cover here? So the entire project is being considered it as. I'm just opening this and I'm going to share this. Give me a second. I'm just about to share this. Yeah, okay. Let me share my screen. Stop presenting. Let me reshare my screen. So the training content is this one. Now if you see, the training is divided into three parts. First of all, let me be clear on. First is basic SAP PS training. So basic SAP PS training is covered in terms of phases of it. First phase, initiation phase. So basically, we here in this phase we are going to get the structure of it. How the entire structure, as I said, structure is nothing but your project definition, WBS, network activities, milestones, or PS text or components, whatever you name it. Okay, now there is during the structure also we also have to generate the settlement rule. That's what based on your project type it is going to vary. CapEx, OPEX, or revenue projects are to be differentiated while creating a project itself. You cannot switch from like capex to opex or opex to revenue project. Of course, opex to revenue project there is a switch possible, but capex to opex or opex to revenue to capex not possible. Okay, for that you should be very careful while completing the structure itself. So these we are going to discuss during initiation phase. It may go about 16 hours to 20 hours. Okay. Next phase is planning phase. During this time, we are going to discuss about status management, cost planning, all different cost planning methods, budgeting, what are the budget calculations, and resource planning, all materials, internal activities, external activities, and the general cost activities being planned, and scheduling relationships. Of course, these are prerequisites. And revenue planning and rescheduling of a project. This is what we discussed during our planning. It may go about 30 hours of it. And execution, yes, whatever you have planned during execution phase, how the release is going to happen, activity confirmations, PRPO creation, my goals, service entry sheet, and then financial entries, direct expenses, project tracking, version creation, and simulated project versions. So this is what we are going to cover. Next is our monitoring and control. This is more of reporting and also the reviewing that what is the progress of the project. So basically, during this time, we are also going to discuss about templates creation and coding mask. By the time you get some sense of it, otherwise there is no point in doing coding mask at the beginning. That's what we do during monitoring and control. Also, milestone confirmations, billing request, planned versus budgeted versus actual, or other reports, cost element based or hierarchical reports, budget related reports, then project progress and milestone trend analysis. So these are all topics we are going to cover during our monitoring and control. Then the closure phase. You see that all different projects will require different objects of it. Not all of them are same. So OPEX, CAPEX, like revenue related projects, TECO, settlement, final settlement, project closure. So these are all 5 phases of the project what we are going to cover. So this may go in the 15-20 hours or whatever is there. Now after doing this one, there is an integration with all other modules as well. To name any order, like what you have seen, procurement, of course, you would have covered by this time, PRPOs, process and all, MIGOs and all. Then production order related, plant maintenance order, sales order related, customer service, internal orders, and validations and substitutions. With that, we are going to say formally the entire basic things for project systems is covered with that curriculum. Okay, one is initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closure activities. Apart from that, we are going to cover the integration aspect of it. Okay. Now, okay, if you ask me that question, yeah, where do you cover this? CAPEX, OPEX, and revenue, and resource related billing, and including result analysis is this is advanced topic. Okay, this is not part of your basic training. Basic training will not cover end to end scenario. End to end scenario required 50 to 55 transaction codes. We are going to execute this capex 50 to 55 transaction code, opex maybe 50 minimum, and revenue maybe more than 60, and resource rate maybe another 20 to 30 transactions. This end to end, that means you are kind of going to do integration test, or you name it UAT, user acceptance test. So that we will cover as a advanced topic. So this requires additional hours of not 20, maybe 30 hours is required here. So this is a separate thing. This is advanced topic. Okay. And there is a third module as well. That is nothing but implementation. That how a project can be implemented. If someone wanted to know how the implementation project works, how the testing is going to take place, and cutover strategies, go live support or rollouts or whatever this roads and authorization, including that. If you wanted to learn, this is phase 3 of it. That means the entire course is split into 3 parts of it. Basic PS training, yes, will take 70 to 80 hours of it. Yes, on top of it, there are 30 hours of scenarios. Only scenarios we can teach, and 30 hours for project execution. So now if you talk about the total course duration, 80 plus 30 plus 30, that means 140 hours. But it has got 3 modules. I would say 3 modules include 140 hours. 140 hours. But if you ask me, yes, module 1 means SAP basic training, 80 hours. Okay. Now if you ask me what is the fees for this, if I talk about this fees, so this is 25k. Okay. Now for scenarios, if you wanted to learn only scenarios and the 30 hours, this is 15k. Now, if you wanted to learn only project management, or mean basically an implementation, this is another 30 hours. This is 10K. I would say 10, rather saying that 15K also here. So now it is choice is yours. You can take whatever course you want. Someone like maybe Sandeep, he is interested in like neither scenarios or implementation. That's his choice. Okay, but basic training 80 hours maximum it will go, and this is what 25K. And scenario, someone wanted to learn scenarios, and you can attend basic training afterwards if you feel comfortable. And if you wanted to go with that one afterwards, you can pay 15K and you can join the remaining course. Did, did I answer your question now here? Okay, so now it is up to you. Like, oh, this is what the course structure is: three modules, three different modules, and module one, two, three. Any questions? Feel free. This is module two, and this is what I have given you. And I think whatever you see it here is this is what we are going to cover during our course. So total means 140 hours. You don't have to pay like for together. You can pay individual each whichever training you attend. Like during that time you can pay and join that. So yeah, please go ahead. See, ideally, what happens is, as of now, what has happened, people will join. Most of them will join with basic and as well as scenarios as well together. Together means yes, you can pay like afterwards only. That's fine. But like Sandeep, in their case, actually I had covered both of them. But I felt this time some people are asking like sir scenarios if you wanted, and some people are asking only basic training. So some people are advanced. So for them, not necessarily to go through that basic training may not be required. Suppose some people will ask the other way around. So what I did is that's the reason I split that one. Otherwise, earlier it was 100 to 120 hours. Actually, one stretch we used to take. 120 hours like that we used to take. But now I split that into whichever like module you wanted, you can take that one. Rather having like the burden of both together, why way to go ahead with that. Because that is the fundamental idea. Correct. It's yeah. Correct. Yeah, I'll tell you. See here, 140 hours is total. You split that into suppose if you go with weekend and weekdays, that are logistics also. Let's talk about it. Suppose weekend, ideally what it takes is 8 hours per week, per per 1 week. I would say just 8 hours per week. So ideally, how many DVs it take? 10 weeks. Do you agree? Duration 10 weeks. So first 10 weeks it will go with only basic training. Of course, we don't start scenarios until unless this 10 weeks is being completed. Then we'll start that 10 weeks after. Suppose today if I start, just imagine, I'm just giving the rough estimate. Suppose if this week we start with Saturday and Sunday, suppose I'm just giving 12. 12th to 1, 2, 3, then what is that? 3 is third already being covered. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, yes, not being covered. Then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Suppose it will be ended on suppose or 15th. Suppose imagine that one. That means ideally we are starting from 21st. This will get started on 21st of June. Clear? That means 10 weeks, of course, not June. I think maybe May, I guess. Isn't it May or June? May. Yeah, 21st May we get started with. So subsequently, this is another like 30 hours means it will go another minimum 4 weeks. So minimum 4 weeks is required here. So afterwards, maybe somewhere around 20th or 22nd, whatever is there. Okay, 26th of June is we get started with this. This is also another 4 weeks. Ideally, like no, this is choice of yours, like no, but fundamentally, if you are okay, like generally these two are important for people, and this one is for fresher, like no, which they wanted to know the some people who are interested in even including the numbers and authorization and the first time they wanted experience for them it is helpful of course for experience like someone is already implemented few I mean for him it's not required as simple as that one. So this is what the entire thing, and it will run. I don't ask now to join like until unless I have badge, but I don't go with that way. So it is being split into now scenarios. If someone is interested in only scenarios, let him join only scenarios. No issues on that. Correct. Absolutely. You need to wait, Sandeep. Perfect. You are right. Because there is no such thing called scenarios right now, isn't it? Yeah. You need to wait. That we are going to discuss, like no logistics. Oh, so okay. Now, what is that team's availability? Are you okay with weekends or weekdays? First question. Okay. So, what about others? Just I wanted to check with others, whoever is interested in. Okay. It's okay. Let them say. Whatever. Like, no. So, what is that? Morning time or evening time? That's also question will come, isn't it? Is that necessarily one? Correct, correct. So, morning time or evening time? Let's ask. That's what is the logistics are like need to be very precise and clear. So ideally, like no, suppose let me propose. So someone is interested in weekends. As I said, weekends 8 hours per week, Saturday 4 hours and Sunday 4 hours. Okay, that's the ideal timing what we take it. Maybe Saturday Sunday, maybe everyone is free in terms of their availability. So anybody has any apprehension on weekend. Okay. Okay, Saturday. What about Sunday? Okay. Okay, Saturday, Sunday. If it is like timing, we will fix that one. Whether we have okay with whatever evening or morning, whatever is there. Suppose you don't have Saturday, like what are your working timings? 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Okay, for you little bit difficult. I understand that. So ideally, what is the time preferable for each of you? Is weekdays evening? If someone says in Singapore for him maybe evening is fine. Evening is everyone is okay. Weekday evening, weekdays evening. Proposal one. That's what I'm questioning. I'm asking them. You see, hardly 1.5 hour to 2 hours is maximum. Okay, weekdays means 1.5 hour to 2 hours maximum. 1.5 hours is not like a preferable one. So weekdays evening. How many are you okay? Or anyone has any problem? Weekdays evening. Others are fine. Anyone has any issue? Okay, in the afternoon. Fine, perfect. So that means okay. That okay. Then next proposal. Okay, morning 6. Proposal 2. Proposal 2. But what about Singapore? Someone is there. What is that? 1.5 hours. and 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, fine. Okay, now for Indians, like no, is any problem in joining on morning weekdays? Anyone? Anyone of you? Okay, except like no Sudeep, like no others, like no whoever is there. Hmm. Then in that case, for you it is only weekends. Then that case not possible in weekdays. As simple as that. 11 to 8 of what? Ah, then that case, then no problem, isn't it? This one is no problem. Correct. That's what I'm asking. Okay. So any of you have any problem in weekdays proposal two morning at 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. Okay with that? Okay, let's fix that one. Morning at 6 a.m. Then 1.5 hour, like no, maybe that makes sense. Maybe let it go. Whatever, like no, 80 hours, like no, you could split that into whatever days are going to come per week. 8 hours is going to come. Yeah, 10 weeks max. That's it. Yeah. Anyway, 10 weeks is what it is going to take. Okay, let's have a deal like no. Then in that case, let's start on morning at 6 a.m. So whoever is like no okay with that one, let them join. And the others, I can't help you like no at this stage because now it is only the one option left with this. There, I mean, so people are not okay with weekends. Means that's only the our weekend. If at all weekend, all of us are okay. Proposal three, 4 hours. I think someone said like no Saturday he is not able to make it, isn't it? Isn't it? So any one cannot make it anyhow. For one, we cannot change that. So let me know. Then this is 4 hours. Like no, at least either we can go with 6 to 10 in the morning or 6 to 10 in the evening. Either case is that or this. Okay. So which one do you prefer? Like no, let's make a decision now. Let's make a decision. Hmm. Okay. So who has clashed with one or three? One or three? I think other guy has got problem. I guess this proposal what he has made. I think one what is that 11 o'clock or something like that for him. What is being changed next week onwards for you? Hello. I think one said it is for him it is different. What is that? Eleven to 8, 11 o'clock in the morning. Then it should be only available in for him only. This makes sense. Or otherwise third one. Yeah, third one. Someone said Saturday he won't make it. Who's that? Sagar. Okay, you are not able to make it. Okay, do one thing. Only one has to drop, no doubt about it. Like you know, I can't be universal for everyone. So who is going to drop is up to take a decision. So what we can do is, so weekend 6 to 10. Is that okay, guys? Weekend 6 to 10. Yeah, for him again issue. He's not available at 8. 11. He's saying 11. But Next month also yours is 11. But for you, I think Sudeep, for you at 8 o'clock, is it no issues? 8 to 9:30 then. Then 8 to 9:30 p.m. Is that okay? All of you? So that's what, let's fix that one. The remaining two I'm dropping off. Okay? Weekdays every day 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Okay, we'll make it only 1.5 hour. Nothing to worry. Okay? How long it goes, let us go. Clear? Okay. I'll send this in the group, like you know. Oh, so when can we start this? Monday? No, no, no. Let's make it Monday as a deal. Is that okay, all of you? Okay. So 14th onwards, we are going to start on weekdays 8 to 9:30 p.m. This is fixed now. Okay. I'm going to send that in the group. So it is the timing? 14th. Okay. Okay. 14th March 2022 from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Clear? Okay, this is what fixed. Maybe I'll share my account details, and whoever wanted to join, like basic training, yes, make the payment of 25K and no installments and one time payment, and that's what the logistics are. Like this is what the batch we are going to have, 14th March 2022 and 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. daily on weekdays. Clear? Any questions from any one of you? Clear? Okay, that's great. Thank you all for attending this. Any questions, please feel free. Like anyhow that we are going to share these details in our WhatsApp group, and feel free if you have. And any one of you are not there in the group, and please let me know. I can add you. All of you are there. All of you are there, isn't it? In that group. Okay. What's your name? Ajesh. Yeah, Ajesh. Your mobile number, please. 73 739 740 420 5. Let me repeat that. 739 740 4205. Okay. So anybody else? Vasu, Sagar, any one of you? You are there in that group, isn't it? Somedeep. Okay. Anyway, if not there, I know you can contact me on this email ID. No issues on that one. Okay. Ajesh, I will add your number so that you will get in the same communication in the group. Okay. Okay, thank you all. Thanks so much for attending this one. Really appreciate your time. Monday onwards, we'll get started. Okay, and I'll share my contact details or bank details so that you can transfer the money to that one. And once one installment only, no specific split in the installments. Okay. Okay, then catch you on Monday. Thanks so much. Thanks for attending. Really appreciate each of you. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye. Good night.